So, the direct pointer of meditation is not to hold on to any thought, and it includes thoughts such as I am not the body or I am not the mind, because the real pointer is that there is no me. So, the thought that holds on to I am not the body or I am not the mind is again another thought. Through that negative thought, still the I is held on to. So it's not, the direct pointer is therefore to just be still, to not hold on to any thought, whether it's positive or negative. To say I am X, Y, or Z is positive, and to say I am not X, I am not Y, I am not Z may be negative, but still they are both having the underlying assumption of holding on to an I, which is either affirming or negating. So the direct pointer, that's why, is to remain still, which is to not have any movement of me within. When there is no movement of we within, either affirming anything or even negating anything, then there is stillness, which is peace, and that can be said to be the real I without even saying the word I. We don't have to verbalize that as I, because when we verbalize it or when we think of it, it's still again separating from what is into a thought. When we have no movement, either affirming or even negating, and just remain still, then what remains is the true essence, which is the nameless essence. So we cannot reach that by affirmation or even by negation. Negation may be initially necessary to remove the positive identities we have. That's why initially negation is recommended. But we have to drop the negations too, because if we hold on to that, then that becomes a thought, it becomes a vritti, as it is said, and we constantly want to hold on to that thought. And because of that, there is inner commentary: am I identified with the body? Am I not? And all the rest. If we simply come upon this recognition that everything is happening spontaneously, the body is already functioning spontaneously without any sense of I. And the body doesn't have to say there is no I, because there is already just the functioning of the body as is. The heart, the liver, the lungs, the eyes, the ears, every organ of the body functions perfectly now. It doesn't compare itself with how did I beat yesterday or how am I going to do tomorrow. The whole biological organism is perfect expression of divine energy, which is unique and which is unparalleled. So it doesn't require any sense of I or to negate it either. It is just what is. It's only the thinking that is either identifying with it or then trying to disidentify with it. Both of those movements are only a product of thought. So when we simply drop it and just remain still, the natural need for thought, of course, takes its place. Just as all the other organs function, the organism, the organ of brain rather, also can fall into its right place, engaging in thinking when it's necessary. But this psychological thinking is what causes the superimposition of a sense of me. When the psychological thinking is seen as the root of all corruption or depression or conflict or whatever term one uses, all of it is because of this sense of I. And that I is sustained both by either claiming to be something or claiming to be not something. The direct pointer is there is no I, and that has to be simply seen. When the I rises, if we see that it is just another thought that's coming up and wanting to masquerade as me, when we see this clearly, then in the very seeing, the me is dropped. And if we simply remain still, then in that stillness, the me has no ground to rise. And if it rises, it can be instantly seen as false and dissolved. But regardless, the stillness that is there, which is beyond either affirming or negating, is the true essence of being, where there is no one to say I, there is just the isness of being itself. That's why it's simply what is the isness. There is no one who can experience it. When we try to experience it, we again create division. When we simply drop all seeking to experience this true self or God or whatever term we use, then what remains is that ground of being itself. So it's beyond the realm of knowing or experiencing. It is just what is. So if we simply, therefore, just drop it, that's the direct and easy way. Not try to realize anything, but just rest. That's why it is, if we get the sense of it, it's so relaxing and it's easy. There is no struggle, there is no effort, there is just a resting with no unnecessary activity of me, no unnecessary activity of thought, no me. And there is peace, stillness, and there is just the isness of being, which has its own flow where thought falls in its right place, activities fall in their right place, all actions can happen, all perceptions can happen, but there is no one doing them, no one perceiving them. There is just the movement of energy as one movement.